So, today what we'll be discussing is basically the concept of data governance. So, data governance from the IBM's point of view, data governance basically means that the data should be unbiased, the data should be cleaned, and also from various sources when the data is collected. For example, it can be the data on premise, the data can be on the client server, the data can be from the third party data. Whenever the data is being collected, the data should be cleaned and properly managed so that the trust in data is first built up. Then comes the model building. So, if you don't have a good quality of data, it doesn't make any sense to build a model on a biased data. Therefore, the concept of data governance comes into play at a first place. Right? So, the architecture which is used for data governance is known as data fabric. So, data fabric is a unified architecture which is used. Right? And there is a platform which is basically known as IBM Knowledge Catalog, right? So Knowledge Catalog is basically, it's a system which handles the metadata. So that is basically what we'll be today learning, what is basically the Knowledge Catalog is all about, right? So that is the first part. What we'll be studying is basically the knowledge So this knowledge catalog is a very important aspect in the when it comes to data governance, and this is a very unique solution offered by IBM. So from there basically the governed MLOps concept comes. So if you find in the website of IBM, you will find the concept of governed MLOps. So this governed part is basically the data governance, right? So now there are many the IBM has restructured and they have integrated and divided many things. So and what this basically knowledge catalogs is done, it is on a framework known as Cloud Pak for Data. So IBM has got a ecosystem. That ecosystem is known as IBM Cloud Pak for Data. So within the IBM Cloud Pak for Data, you will find this knowledge catalog. Okay. So make this concept very clear that IBM Cloud Pak for Data is the ecosystem. Within that particular ecosystem, the concept of data governance is tackled by the knowledge catalog.
Sir, here we can say that why data fabric with IBM Cloud Pak needed. We can make a graph like one side data and another side is knowledge, and there between management will be managed by data fabric.
Yes, data fabric is basically an architecture. Data fabric is basically an architecture. I can actually show you because I have a concept slide on that.
Actually, so, I read somewhere.
Okay.
One graph was there.
Okay.
The data and the knowledge will be two lines, and their between management thing will managed by data fabric.
So let me show you over the concept of data fabric.
Architecture means some pipelines.
Architecture is
With a mixture of pipelines.
So this is basically data fabric. So if you look at the data fabric, you can see there is basically the data governance, right? That then comes the data integration, then comes the data science and MLOps, and finally is the AI governance. So this is the entire architecture. You can say what are the portfolios data fabric handles is first is the data governance, that what we will be talking today about. Then comes the data integration, data science and MLOps, and that is the operationalization of the AI life cycle. And finally is the AI governance. So govern the AI workflow. So there are two kind of governance. One is the data governance, another is the AI governance. Data governance is the governance of the data, and AI governance is governing the AI workflow, right? So this is all about the data fabric, right? This is actually the data fabric. And then next comes so these are the various modules, like the modules of Cloud Pack for data for the MLOps offered by IBM is like IBM Knowledge Catalog, what we'll be learning today. So Knowledge Catalog is used for storing the metadata and cataloging the data asset for efficient search and consumption in the machine learning model. So Knowledge Catalog is basically, it's, you can say it's basically a platform, okay, which actually stores the metadata. So metadata, like this data from various sources, it stores the data and it categorizes the data, right? It categorizes the data for efficient search. So suppose when a like a machine learning team or a data science team, when they will going to search for a data, right? So they will directly search from the IBM Knowledge Catalog for the consumption of the data for their machine learning model. So basically, say when the research, from a research point of view or in a lab setup, this is not basically taken care of. So you generally download the data from some sources and use it within the model. But when it comes to enterprise level solutions, this becomes very important because why it becomes important, because see, you are developing a real life project and you, so there the biasness should not be there, right? So the data should be fair enough for your model consumption. So that's why this is given the highest priority. So that is basically the IBM Knowledge Catalog. Then comes a pipeline. So pipeline is another basically sub solution within the Cloud Pack for data, that is for automating the end-to-end flow of a machine learning model through AI lifecycle. So this is basically helps in the end-to-end flow of the machine learning model, right? So the machine learning model, how it goes, is makes a very clarity. Then a very important area, that is the AI fact sheets. It is used for creating a centralized repository of model fact sheets to track the life cycle of the model, right? So it actually tracks the life cycle of your machine learning model, including the request, building, deployment and evaluation of the machine learning model. So this is another very important aspect of MLOps. So AI fact sheet is one of the solution. Then comes a Watson Open Scale. So Watson Open Scale is used for evaluating the deployed model to make sure that deployed models meets the threshold set of fairness and accuracy. So basically it helps in understanding how fair is your model and how accurate is your model. So that actually is taken care by the Watson Open Scale.
By scaling the data.
No, basically it's a, you can call it, it's like a watchdog. You can call it as a watchdog, which actually monitors how whether your model is actually adhering to the the fairness and the accuracy.
Accuracy scale, we can say.
Yes. It's like a scale. Yes, it's like a scale which measures like whether your model is as per the required, fairness, whether it is maintaining the fairness. So from there the concept of trustworthy. So this entire thing comes under the concept of the trustworthy AI. Okay. And finally is the CPD-CTL command line interface tool. So for MLOps is based on the concept of the DevOps. So DevOps is basically is a concept.
Command window will be there.
Pardon?
Command window.
No. DevOps, actually the concept is basically on the continuous improvement and continuous development. CI/CD. So basically MLOps also follows the same thing, the CI/CD. So CI/CD basically, so CPD-CTL command line interface is used for managing and automating your machine learning assets. So CPD-CTL can be integrated in any CI/CD pipeline, right, and provides the access to the relevant data and machine learning assets in the Cloud Pack for data. So Cloud Pack for data is the entire ecosystem. Within the Cloud Pack for data ecosystem, you have these all sub tools, you can call it tools or you can call it sub products, whatever you want to call it, right? And this entire thing, this is 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, this entire 5 things combined together, okay, makes the concept of the governed MLOps, right? Governed MLOps, and this behind that it goes the data fabric architecture, which actually maintains the what I actually explained to you in the previous slide. This data governance, data integration, data science and MLOps, and AI governance, right? Then comes the so what are the 7 pillars? What are the major 7 pillars? The 7 pillars for a healthy AI models, you have to understand whenever you are working with the machine learning, it is basically the healthy AI model. So you are basically developing a healthy AI model. So the 7 pillars are fairness, performance, explainability, confidence, transparency, privacy, and adversarial robustness, right? So these are the 7 pillars of healthy AI models. So with this introduction, we shall begin today with our training program on the knowledge catalog, right? So now you can understand why knowledge catalog is important, what is the importance of the data governance, and why data governance is required, and why knowledge catalog is required. So this is the foundation. So this is the first thing you should learn about the data. And now the question is that the data governance is plays a very important role as far the data science entire project is important, as because until and unless you have a good quality of data, until and unless your data is adhering to the regulatory frameworks, various regulatory norms and compliances, it doesn't make any sense that you are using it for your model building, right? So if your model is built with a kind of garbage data, right, which doesn't adhere to the governance rules, which doesn't adhere to the regulatory frameworks, then the entire model is absolutely a biased model. So that model, the predictions made by that particular ML model doesn't make sense for you. So that's why the first and foremost thing is that the how to manage the data. So this is basically a part of how to manage the data and what data should be used for your machine learning model. So that is the novelty of this particular knowledge catalog, and that is what we shall be learning today. Is that clear to you, all of you? Both of you, right? Okay, okay. Thank you. So we shall start with the training.
Sorry,